Good evening. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your evening update, your financial market wrap-up. And this is for Thursday, the 21st of March, 2024. And the time right now, 6:20 p.m. Central Time. You know, today I thought, and if you remember what I said about the yin-yang, that we get something and the Fed finishes, and then it's got to go to Asia, then Europe, and then back to America early in the morning, and which way you're going to go. Stocks did not respond to that. Where all the action took place were in the currency markets. But why? Well, today you wake up, you're watching, and the Swiss National Bank surprises the market. It cuts its interest rate. They're the winner. I said there would be a major world bank that's the first to make the move. They did it. Followed right behind it by Banxico, the Mexican central bank. They cut their rate for the first time. So what happened with the Bank of England? They had their voting members. And they had two members that kept voting that they did not want to break rates. They thought higher rates were still appropriate. They no longer think higher rates are appropriate. That got the market thinking, all right, here comes the Bank of England down the road. Now, they were widely expected not to do anything in the way of cutting rates here, and that basically is what happened. So you just held on. But when you saw the Swissy fall, I think it's what it does now. It sets up the European Central Bank for their June meeting. Are they going to make their moves? Everybody's going to be data dependent at this point. But what won the day today was the U.S. dollar. It was down 44 points yesterday, up 63 points today. Why? Because we're the biggest holdout. We don't know what we're going to do. So the market has decided, that if you lower your rates, you're getting less interest on your money. They'll stay with the highest paying currency that's got strength, and that's us. By the way, Turkey today raised its interest rate from 45 to 50%. So they went up 5 full points. That's 500 basis points. Wow. They still have inflation near 70%. And by the way, you want to know what's so unique about that? On the 31st is the elections in Turkey. Normally, President Erdogan has done what? He has cut interest rates just before elections. Here he took them up. It's a complete different stance than he's done in the past. When we look at the S&P, come on, you're up 4% this week. And I'm going to repeat, everything that the Fed said is still friendly to the stock market. They are not looking to raise rates. They still think 3 are coming. Tonight, in my full research report, I go through the remaining FOMC meetings the rest of the year. I give you an analysis. If they're going to do 3 cuts, where do they come in? Which ones do I think they are? Why I think they're those. All right, I'm not going to share that here. That's in my full research report for my subscribers. When we take a look at the chart action, market's still moving higher. You still have the pattern on the swing line, and that's what this brown line is. This brown line, I teach this in my new charting course. It'll be ready any day we're going to release it. It's done. So it's just a compiling, putting it on the website, getting all the pricing and everything ready at this point. But what you've got here on the market is an inside day right now, but you've made your higher highs, higher lows. The market is holding the 18-day average, so why would you think on pullbacks that still wouldn't be the spot that the market looks at? Look at how well it has worked all the way through. The last time you were underneath it was in January. And every time since then, you've held the market nicely. Where's the resistance been? The upper Bollinger Band. Yeah, you can get over it for a few days at a time, but you come back into it 95% of the time. That doesn't mean you don't come back to it at a higher level, by the way. And when you look at the momentum, are we embedded? You're not. You have an overbought market that's trading against the Bollinger Band. Looks to me like at any point you can just get some profit taking, not a trend change, some profit taking to set in. You either embed again or the markets have a way of working down a little bit. The NASDAQ shows this so much better. You've gone basically from an attack of the lower bands where you just missed them to hitting the upper band today and backing immediately away from it. On the micro Dow, 2 days over it. We'll see if it can get back under. It too is overbought and over it. I do think that this was your base out area. So where we're going, hard to tell, but I see nothing that's bearish on the chart other than you're over the Bollinger Band. In the Russell, just like I just showed, you hit that Bollinger Band and you stop. This is still the weakling of everything that's out there. Now, you know and I know that it's hard to buy some of these stocks that are sitting here at 30, 40, 60, 70 PE ratios. A lot of these that I've never heard of make up the Russell, and that's where traders have been in there trying to scoop things up that they think will have value to them. Does it work? So far, it hasn't kept up with the other markets. In the 10-year notes, notice how you rallied back today to the 18-day average, the line in the sand, the resistance point, and the market stopped there. Are we trending? We are not. You have a higher high on the swing line and a lower low. The bias is down and you're oversold in the market. And in the 5-year, you're oversold. Notice where it rallied back to and stopped. That's what I often expect on the way when you're up. It often stops at that number and tries to figure out what to do. Is it going to be bullish? Is it going to be bearish? I really discuss that in my new charting course a lot. And in the dollar index, let's go back a day together. All right. So here's the market yesterday. The trend is up. I'm with you. I'm saying, okay, if the market's going to find support, it starts at the 18 and the 100-day average. If it's going to stay in an uptrend, it should not get back through 102.27. Go look at the videos. I'm sure I said something in that accord. Today, the market opens, drops down to these two numbers, and spins on you right back to the upside. So it's doing its job. The dollar is stronger than the other currencies. In the euro, let's see if I can bring you in on this one, what it did. This is yesterday. The resistance now is the 200-day average. If it can clear that, maybe you get to the Bollinger Band. You're not in a trend. This was the close of business Wednesday. You have a higher high and a lower low. I wouldn't even know what to tell a trader to do in that. The market tries the upside today, and when the Swiss National Bank comes out, the plug gets pulled. The market goes back, and now it's back under the 18-day average. It's still not a trend. I want to make that clear. You still have the higher high, lower low. You're getting whipsawed now in some of the currencies as traders are trying to figure out what is the next move going to be. The British pound is bearish. Lower highs, lower lows, and it came back under the 18-day average. Now, it is oversold. That doesn't stop resistance from showing at 127.38. You'd have to get back over the 128 level, today's highs, the highs of Thursday, in order to say, no, it's something else. I don't see that. Bitcoin, all you did is rally back to the 18-day average. So what's the trend going home? It's down. You've got lower highs, lower lows. You're under the 18-day average. It closed there, and momentum's still pointing down. You'd have to clear this high over here in order to say that that pattern is broken at this point. And you think this market doesn't swing a lot? Just give you an idea. 2 days ago, you got as low as 60,955. You hit a high of 68,475 today, and tonight you're sitting here at 65,425. I mean, these are big swings any way you want to cut it. It's not for the average person. When I look at Brent versus WTI, as long as you stay over this number, Brent still looks stronger to me than WTI. The trend is still up, but it is overbought. I've made that statement to you. It did not embed. It's looking for its support. It could be as low as 83.94. It doesn't have to be. The market's working off an overbought condition, but it's not in a buy mode. That I can say. Same thing in WTI crude. What's still to me in the buy mode is the rebob gasoline. It still has the embedded reading. It's had the correction. I think the pros were buying today. I think they'll bail if the red line closes under 79 tomorrow. And if the market goes up, I think they'll be looking for the 278.60 level to be the resistance zone in the market. And as you know, in the nat gas, I've said, is this going to turn out to be a big base in the market? That's what I'm looking to see. I can't answer the question. I can tell you that as a chartist, you're just spinning now sideways. At first, the market for a while was fighting the 18-day average up to the upper band. Now it's fighting with keeping resistance at that 18-day average and not quite hitting the lower Bollinger Band. So it is interesting, and it is oversold. It won't take much if the market closes over 190, 170 to attract short covering, maybe even new buying in the market, I think. So I think it's going to be now fun time to trade. We're through with the central banks. Now we just start turning our attention to jobs, joblessness, what's going on, the regular data. And you really have 3 months of it now where you're going to just absorb the data and the market will work that off. It's that simple. Unless the Fed changes its stance, you know that the stock market's got a friend in the Fed. The Fed typically doesn't lead you down the wrong path, and that would mean that they're still looking to cut rates. So how do you play some of this? How do you take advantage? Well, that's what I do with you in the morning. 5 in the morning, I'm talking swing trades, longer-term position trades. How do you hang on to something? What do you do? Where's the stops? Where's the objectives? IraEpstein.com. Go to the word research. You can also click up here. There'll be an icon, and everything you need is right there. Join me in the morning. I'd love to see you there. I'm Ira. You take care.